Cherry Blossom, the letters she never sent. It was on the 15th floor of a glass-walled office in Mumbai that Naina realized her life had become a carefully rehearsed silence. She was efficient, respected, and beautifully lonely. Her emails were perfect, her coffee always warm, and her heart locked away in a desk drawer, buried beneath a stack of unsent letters. Each letter was addressed to the same person, Kabir. Years ago, they were inseparable. He was the reckless poetry to her calculated prose. They met at a literature fest in Delhi University, he reciting Caleb under fairy lights, she tucked in a corner with a journal she never shared. They didn't fall in love instantly, it was a slow tide, creeping in through debates, shared pani puri, and walks through rain-slicked streets. Kabir had dreams of becoming a filmmaker, Naina, a journalist. They promised to find their paths together. But promises made in the soft hours of youth often shatter under the weight of real choices. When Kabir got accepted into a film residency in Prague, he asked her to come with him. She said no. She had just received an offer at a leading media house. "We'll make it work," he said. "We'll write to each other." But as the months passed, calls faded, messages slowed, and silence grew roots. The last time she saw him was at the airport, his back disappearing into a sea of strangers. Naina never stopped writing, letters she never mailed, filled with the things she wished she had said. Apologies. Anger. The truth about how she had stood outside the embassy for hours, ticket in hand, heart in pieces, only to walk away. Over the years, the letters became her secret ritual. A way to keep him without needing to confront the reality of their distance. Then came the invitation. An old friend from university, Arushi, was getting married in Mussoorie. The kind of picturesque hill wedding with flower arches, flutes, and fond memories no one dared unpack. Naina almost didn't go, but something tugged at her, nostalgia, maybe. Or maybe it was the last line of Arushi's message, he might be there. Just so you know. The journey to Mussoorie felt like a rewind button pressed gently. Winding roads, pine forests brushing against clouds, and that familiar scent of eucalyptus in the mist. The resort was perched on a cliff, colonial and charming. Old faces greeted her, friends turned acquaintances, some married, some divorced, all changed. And then, he was there. Kabir. Standing by a bonfire, flame light dancing on the edge of his jaw, a woolen scarf tossed over one shoulder like always. His beard was fuller, eyes deeper, but the smile, when he finally saw her, was the same. That crooked, maddeningly beautiful smile that once made her believe in forever. They didn't talk much the first evening. Just a nod. A long look. That quiet awkwardness of two people with too much to say and no idea where to begin. It wasn't until the second night, after most guests had gone to bed, that they found themselves alone on the terrace. "You look different," Kabir said, his voice low. "So do you," Naina replied, clutching her shawl. "Did you ever write to me?" he asked suddenly. "Because I did. Every week. 4 months." She looked away. "I wrote too. Just never sent them." There was silence then, heavy and alive. "Why didn't you come?" he finally asked. "I did," she whispered. "To the embassy. I had the ticket. But I got scared." "Of what?" "Of losing myself in your world. Of not knowing if it was love or just a beautiful escape." Kabir sighed, hands buried deep in his coat. "You wouldn't have lost yourself. You'd have helped me find myself." I wasn't ready to believe that, she said. They talked till the fog rolled in like a curtain between worlds. He told her about Prague, lonely winters, films that never got funded, nights spent staring at the ceiling missing the smell of wet earth in Delhi. She told him about Mumbai, the noise, the loneliness, the letters. You still have them? He asked. She nodded. Will you show me? Naina hesitated. Then, slowly, she reached into her handbag and pulled out a bundle of yellowed pages tied with a red thread. She handed them to him. Kabir didn't read them that night. Instead, he placed the letters over his heart, closed his eyes, and said, "This is the real story." The wedding came and went. Laughter, rituals, dancing under fairy lights. But for Naina and Kabir, it was like the world had slowed to a whisper. On the last day, as she packed to leave, he knocked on her door. "I'm staying," he said. "In Mussoorie?" "No," he smiled. "In India. I've got a screenplay ready. I've been offered a deal. But more than that, I want to see where our story goes." She looked at him, uncertain. "I'm not asking for forever," he added. "Just a beginning." Naina stepped closer, touched his scarf, and nodded. "Then let's start with coffee." They walked down to the cafe at the edge of the mountain, mist swirling around them like a secret. The barista didn't know that two people were rewriting history with every glance, every smile, every sip. Back in Mumbai, Naina unpacked her suitcase and placed the empty envelope, one she never had the courage to use, into her journal. Then, she opened a fresh page and wrote, "Dear Kabir, this time, I'm sending every word." And she did. Every single one. Cherry Blossom Call to Action. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Love Love Letter for more heartfelt tales of connection, chance, and destiny. Sparkles, tell us in the comments, have you ever held on to words you never said? Cloud with Rain, Red Heart.